Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Happy Sunday. Let's take a look at what's going on in the past week here in the city of Yonkers. The bullies are back. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Happy Sunday. Just want to go over some stuff, recap, keep reminding folks of what's going on here in the city of Yonkers, and that we have to stay consistent. Consistency is key. We can't let up, so we have to remain vigilant at all times, making sure that we're sharing the information, holding them accountable, and ensuring that there is transparency within city government here in Yonkers. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Happy Sundays, Basement Politics. I wanted to go over some of the things that I spoke about this week, one of them being 900 North Broadway and the proposed development there. And so very recently, someone sent me some information in regards to the owners of the property, 900, which is a vacant lot. And now, if you're unfamiliar with this, you can actually look up information on properties here in the city of Yonkers. And I wanted to kind of go over that because I think it's important for people to know that they have that option. So what you can do here, and I just do it in the search engine, is I just try look up Yonkers property search, and you'll see a link there, or you can go to yonkersnewyork.gov. live/real estate home, and you can see it there. And then you can click on this link here, and it'll bring you to this page, which you can click on the public access. So you don't have to actually log in. You can click on public access, and it'll bring you to this page here where you can type in the name of the street and the number of the whatever property is that you're looking up. And so that's important for folks to know. Many people may not be aware that you can actually do that. So if you're looking for information on a specific property, there you go. And so now the property that we've been talking about is 900 North Broadway, Yonkers, New York. And so people have been looking into this property, right? People have been doing some research. People who live in the area who are, opposing this, who are upset that they are possibly going to be putting this 4-story, 60-unit development in their community, not providing enough parking spaces, 60 units, only 30 parking spaces. Many are concerned with the parking situation. What's that going to look like if it is developed? The traffic, which has already gotten a lot more congested as people are moving to the city of Yonkers, the downtown area is being developed. So people are concerned. And so they've been looking it up. So with 900 North Broadway, you can just, again, it's easy if you go to this site. And it's not spelled out north. You just put N for whatever, I guess. Sorry, hit the wrong key. And so there you go to bring up some streets for you. And you go to property. And so here you have some options: property info, owner sales, inventory, improvements. So we want to go to owner sales information. So someone pointed out to me and said, Freddie, hey, look, I just recently went on the site to check up on this information again. They had done so before, and they noticed that a change had been made. So now there's only one owner listed, and that's the wife. You can see here, they sent me both screenshots. When they searched the property prior to the most recent search, there were two people listed, Dr. Sage and his wife. And so people were saying this is strange. Why was it changed? Why was it modified? So there's a lot of fishy stuff going on here with this particular development proposal and this deal. There's a lot of things that they're trying to hide, but the bigger thing that I started to think about was, how often is this done? How often have they manipulated property records here in the city of Yonkers for one reason or another? Currently, they're working on a digital system. They're trying to update the city of Yonkers, specifically with the building department. So, where you can go online, you can file for permits, you can do a bunch of stuff on there, just like in the city where they have DOB now, where you don't even have to step foot into a building department. It's very seamless, efficient, fast. But yet, the city of Yonkers still does not have a system set up that way, but they're working on one. And currently, they are taking all of their physical documents and converting them to digital documents. But what are they doing with the physical copies? Are they destroying the physical copies? It's easy to manipulate the computers, easy to manipulate the website where this information is found on. As we can see here, there have been changes made to this particular property. 1 minute it listed two owners, husband and wife, and now it's only listing the wife. Why was it changed? And why is that information just being able to, be changed like that? And by who? Who's changing this information? So that should be a concern to people, right? Because in my opinion, there's a big real estate racket going on here in the city of Yonkers, and there are many individuals that are enriching themselves through real estate. Many who are part of this small group of individuals knew about a lot of these developers coming here, knew about Lionsgate way before the public did, way before the rest of the residents in the city of Yonkers. They were told where Lionsgate was interested in building movie studios here in Yonkers, and many of them were giving the option to buy the property, buy it very cheap at times, so they can then make money selling it to the developers. So how many prominent members of the city of Yonkers or elected officials or people that aren't even from Yonkers were privy to this inside information and quickly bought up many of the distressed properties, lots on the southwest side and the northwest side that once were just empty, abandoned, no one cared about it? How many of them were privy to this? How many of them went and bought a lot of this stuff, like this vacant lot on North Broadway, right? What was the plan when the gentleman first bought the lot? What was his intention? What was his goal? Did he assume one day that there would be developers looking to develop this, or maybe that he can develop it himself and make a lot of money, even though the zoning laws didn't allow for this, right? So again, this is something that has happened here in the city of Yonkers. Many of these people bought properties on the southwest side, northwest side, knowing that developers like Lionsgate and other big, luxury developers and affordable housing developers were going to be coming and wanting those specific lots, that specific property, and they made a lot of money. Or they're still in the process of making these deals, like in the case of this 900 North Broadway deal. And who's attached to it? It's a brother of Assemblyman Nader Sage, who is a part of this small group of individuals, although they have huge families, but the ones that are really inside, part of this colluding, and enriching themselves with what's happening in the Yonkers, they're a part of it, right? He also owns 10 Palisade Avenue, which is trying to unload for $6 million. 10 Palisade Avenue is the headquarters for Tasha Diaz, the former majority leader of the Yonkers City Council. She does a lot of stuff out of that office building that's owned by Nader Sage. She is going to be someone that's going to vote on whether or not to have this zoning change approved. She's going to say yes or no. Will she vote no? That's basically voting against Nader Sage, the guy that has allowed you to use office space in his building for the past, I don't know how many, 5 years or so now. The guy that's endorsed you, that's supported you, that's done many events to promote you. Are you going to say no? I'm not going to vote for it, right? So that should be very concerning, right there. And so they don't like me talking about this information. Again, I showed the attachment that Zahi Jeris had to this project or this development deal here. Many people may know already by watching the podcast who Zahi Jeris is, why he went to jail, involved in bribing city council members here in the city of Yonkers. He is currently the campaign manager for many council members, as well as county legislators and judges. Judges like the one that was sitting on my arraignment not too long ago, which confused me because, that's not okay. He should be recused. And so that's something that we're going to work on. But they don't like me talking about this. So then they go and attack me. And this is why I've gotten a little fiery, why I say the things that I say sometimes that maybe are not, having to do so much with politics, but, are a bit personal because, I have feelings. I'm a human being. But whenever they don't like me talking about something, they'll go and attack me. And the latest attack is, so I know I'm on the right track, right? I know they don't like this 900, me exposing this deal over at 900 North Broadway. So they attacked me. So the Yonkers Newswire, Prince Robinson on his Instagram page are now alleging that I am claiming to be one of the sexual assault victims of music producer, Sean Combs, better known as Puff Daddy or P. Diddy. I know it's very stupid. It's extremely stupid, immature, and childish. But I actually got a text message from somebody who sent me a screenshot of someone texting them this right here. And it was saying, what is this about, right? So again, so people are wondering, what is this about? No, I'm not claiming to be a victim. I don't even know the guy. Never met the guy a day in my life. But how ridiculous is this? Many people are on this guy's page. And if they don't know any better, and if they're not intellectually savvy enough, they just may believe this. And then we got individuals like Jeff Meyer engaging in it, a man that is supposed to be religious and of God. He works to feed those suffering from food insecurities. He's doing his godly duties. God bless him. He leads this Ridgeway Alliance Church and the parishioners who do good deeds. But it's all BS, folks. I unmask these individuals and they don't like it. That is why they have attacked me in every which way. But it's okay because this is my godly duty, Jeff, to unmask these individuals. And Jeff is also connected to the judge that is sitting on my case, Judge Dan Romano. So this is just like one big network of these individuals, right? Where you can't escape them, whether you're dealing with the state, the county, or here in the city. This guy, Jeff Meyer, says, I have never been a fan of his, referring to me. We have gone at it numerous times because I find many of his attacks upon people to be at times false. But he doesn't know anything because he lives in Florida. Mean-spirited and unsubstantiated. He is certainly not a stupid guy. However, as I've done I appreciate that, Jeff. You know what? I can appreciate that. There's some honesty there. However, as I've done many times, I question his judgment. Why would he wish to go public with this except for obvious reasons, money? So I question your judgment, Jeff, and even engaging in this nonsense. With a family of your own, is this really worth it, especially if the article was correct and that these incidents occurred as an adult, with the family to consent or not to consent? Very disturbing and ambiguous, to say the least. A man of God. Well, I appreciate you calling me smart, Jeff. I want to return the favor. However, it seems like you may believe this. You talk about me and unsubstantiated, information, being mean-spirited. But what do you think this is? Jeff Myers is with Ridgeway Alliance Church. They are the ones that are partnered up with Feeding Westchester and do the food distributions where Tasha Diaz is often seen at, claiming it to be hers so that the people could vote for her. It's one big voter election scam. That's what it is. You see, if you want to run for office or you want to control elections in Yonkers, well, then you got to give the people something and keep them coming often so you can make sure that you beat it into your head to vote for me. You gather their information, their address, their email, their telephone number. Are they registered to vote? You're not? Well, I'll get you registered and make sure you vote for Tasha Diaz. And that's exactly what's going on. And that is why Corazon Pineda Isaac went and got her own food distribution as well. And then they were bickering, the two councilwomen, Tasha and Corazon, about who did it first and why are you copying me? So this is the childish, immature nonsense that we deal with here in the city of Yonkers. When we want to talk about important issues like the overdevelopment, the infrastructure, the roads, the crime that's increasing, where you got the Martinellis almost being robbed in Colonial Heights, you can't, because you have to deal with the nonsense. You have to deal with the councilwomen threatening each other. You have to deal with the outbursts during important meetings. You have to deal with the threats and the harassment from individuals associated with them. And this is nothing new. Again, this is what they do to anyone that will dare speak out about them, who dare expose them, who dare unmask them. They will be attacked. I am not the first. Look what they did to Hezi Aris and others. But I am going to be consistent. And I'm going to continue to put the information out. But I want you to see how ridiculous this page is to anyone who would believe this. There are true victims here, which is another insensitive thing. They don't care about the real victims that are claiming to have been sexually abused and raped by this man. I have no idea if it's true or not. I don't know this guy, never been around him. But to use people's, hardships and their most vulnerable times and their, terrible moments in their lives as a joke to attack and offend someone else is very ridiculous. And Jeff Meyer, for you to engage it is even more ridiculous. And again, Jeff Myers is connected to Dan Romano. Jeff Myers, you are related to the Romanos. And so you and I have gone back and forth. I have also exposed some of these real estate schemes that they're doing, in which they are allowing properties to go into these tax lien situations, right? So what happens if a property owner doesn't pay their taxes, they get a tax lien put on them by the city. They have to pay that tax lien within a certain amount of time. If not, the home gets put up for auction. But it's supposed to be a public auction. However, that's not what's been happening here in Yonkers. Homes that have gone into supposed public auctions have been sold to certain individuals so they can then profit. That is their reward for donating to fundraisers for elected officials, for assuring that they and their family members go out and vote for certain elected officials. That is their reward. And so I was alerted to a specific property on Culver Street, where an individual said, Freddie, I've been trying to look into this property, a Latino, because I would like to buy it as an investment property. However, the people who he was calling, whose number was listed, because they have to promote it, they have to list it publicly, right? They were rude to him. And at one point told him not to call anymore. Why would you not want people calling if you're selling this house, right? Well, because they already knew who this property was going to be sold to. It was already marked, in my opinion, to go to the Romanos, because they're the ones that bought the home. This was a home that in as is condition was at least worth $500,000, but yet they were able to get it for $2,500. $2,500. They can flip it as is without spending another penny into it and make buku cash. But what their hope was to knock it down, which they did, eliminating housing in a city that is going through a housing crisis so they can bring a CVS to that location on the corner of Culver Street and Riverdale Avenue, where the old Goodyear garage is, which they also own. And so not only are they engaging in insider trading, buying these homes for ridiculously low prices and making a huge profit, they're preventing other individuals from attaining wealth. We would like to get in on the real estate game and build wealth for our family. Hell, we would definitely love to get into the real estate game at $2,500. And so I discovered this when this individual told me about it. I looked into it and I saw that it was sold for $2,500. And then quickly thereafter, it was sold to another company for $200,000. That company was also owned by the Romanos. And so after that podcast, I got a call at my office by a woman who works at the Romano law firm. Carly spoke to me for almost 2 hours, Carly, we talked, and she tried to persuade me that I was wrong. However, she came to realize that she was wrong and I was right. And so this has been going on with a lot of properties here in the city of Yonkers because I myself had wanted to buy one on Prescott. When I called it, no one would respond. Finally, someone did because I was persistent. They said, I'll call you back so someone can take you to look at the property. No one did. I called again. They said, yeah. We'll have someone call you back. No one did. I finally gave up. I assumed they just didn't want to sell the home. But was that another house that was marked for someone specific to buy? The property was being sold for $100,000. Sure, it needed repair, but it was worth the investment if you were able to get it. So again, another individual prevented from getting into real estate and also building his wealth and his fortune. Latinos can't even get rich in their own communities because individuals who are not from the city of Yonkers or have never lived in that section of Yonkers are the ones buying up the properties and becoming wealthy, making it more difficult for others to build their wealth, become successful in real estate, right? So that's what's going on. That's why they're cleaning these records. That's why they're manipulating, the property records at the building department. That's why they wanted someone like Sam Borelli. So that's what it is. Check out this Instagram page. I just want to be very clear that that's not me. I didn't create this page. I know they want to use things like this to say this is Freddie. He's a horrible guy. Sure, I can hit hard as well, and I sometimes do, but I'm speaking the truth. I don't make things up. And a lot of insiders have reached out to me for one reason or another. Some of them were just seeking revenge and gave me information that was both embarrassing and damaging to certain individuals. Others wanted people to be exposed because it was the right thing. But a lot of people have given me various information. I didn't put this up. I don't, I put my name to whatever. So whoever did that is, shout out to you. I think that lady is right. Fourth term curse. Hold on, Freddie. Something is going on as we speak with the corruption. It will come out very soon. It's only a matter of time. I can't imagine that they can be so blatantly obvious, so obviously corrupt, so blatantly corrupt, and completely get away with it. I mean, I have to start to wonder, is the FBI compromised? Are they corrupt? Or, as they say, is Nick Spano really an FBI informant, and that is why he is allowed to get away with whatever he's getting away with? Some people have said that. Is Nick Spano? I believe it's Nick Spano. I'm hearing he's an informant. I don't know. See, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I don't make it up. But you have to wonder, where is the FBI? The Yonkers Inspector General is not going to do the job. The Westchester County DA is not doing the job. They're too busy going after a guy like me. Meanwhile, I continue to be harassed, as you can see. Has the DA contacted me about my complaints? No. They don't even care. But if they can get Freddie Vasquez, that's what they're going to do. Meanwhile, all of this corruption is happening all around the Westchester County DA's office. That's why Mimi Roca is out. She's not running for re-election. It's not what she wants to be. So what is the DA doing? What is the FBI doing? What is the New York State? The New York State Attorney General is busy going after Trump. She talks about corruption, political corruption in Trump, but there's political corruption right in your backyard, New York State Attorney General. Right in your backyard, literally inside your house. The corruption is sitting on your couch, AG. So watching TV with its feet up on the table. Yet you go after Trump, Donald Trump. Why? Because he's exposing them. He's exposing them as well. And you may not like Donald Trump's approach, just like you may not like my approach. Sometimes I can be abrasive. Sometimes I can be, quite nasty with my post and what I say. But you know what? If we don't fight with equal force, we're sure to lose. We have to start being just as aggressive. We have to be just as fiery and give it back to them the same way they've been giving it to us for all these years. We can no longer be nice. And they don't like that. Now they're the victims. They're the victims. Well, DA, the Yonkers City clerk informed me that Tasha Diaz had assaulted her stepdad. Her own cousin called me up to tell me that she had assaulted her stepdad. But she's not being charged with anything. She's never going to be charged with anything. Right? Because she's Tasha Diaz. But the city clerk told me about it. Doesn't that mean something? The mayor's brother? Or was that just his way of getting her back for the rumors that she was spreading about him? Because that's what they do. They reach out to me and tell me things about each other. Sometimes I put it out, sometimes I don't. But where I get the information is from this circle and people inside who are close friends or were close friends, but were somehow, jaded or now whatever, and now have an axe to grind. They tell me all of this. They also tell me about another assault that happened at a party, at a pool party, where a woman's teeth was busted out. A city employee, in front of many witnesses, including the city council president, as she was being celebrated at this party. But they keep their mouth shut. They don't say anything. And they reward them, or I should say, silence them with promotions or jobs within the city, because the person that busted this woman's teeth out is with somebody high up there. That can't come out. Imagine that. Lakeisha's going to take that to her grave. But she wasn't arrested for assault. But here they are, wasting taxpayer dollars on Freddie Vasquez over a person that has a criminal record for harassment for what he's accusing me of, criminal record for sex assault, child porn, attempt to sell cocaine to undercover Yonkers police officers, and that's who the Westchester County DA sides with right away. But that person knew it because you can hear him talking about how they understand that the person that calls the police first is the one that's going to get the order of protection issue. So that was what he did. They go after good people, try to muddy them up, try to destroy them because they don't want to be exposed. But why do they go so hard? Because it's deeper than not wanting to be exposed. Deep inside, there's a jealousy. There's a jealousy there. No matter how much money you think you have or what title you have, there's a jealousy there. You're jealous of good people. People who don't have to lie, cheat, and steal to get somewhere in life. People who have actually earned what they have, who have managed to get past high school, get a college degree, and do it on their own without the need for nepotism and patronage. Many of them know that they cannot be as successful without the crutch that they have. So they fight for it for all their life to maintain it, to make sure that no one takes it away from them. Because what the hell are they going to do if Mayor Mike Spano is not in office anymore? If a new mayor came in, especially one like Freddie Vasquez, forget it. I probably would have been assassinated had I got on the ballot. Because imagine what would have happened. And so they know this, and they will hold on to this for dear life, do whatever it is they need to do, target whoever, send them to jail, try to destroy their reputation, destroy their business, get their family fired from their jobs, destroy them financially. And they think that they did something. They feel better. These are the people who run the city of Yonkers. They've been doing it for a very long time. They know each other well. They are commingled. Some have a relationship with each other, sexual relationships. These families, they marry into each other, they intertwine, and they work to maintain this power that drives them to be the evil people that they are. And that's just the truth about Yonkers politics. They're very disgusting and vicious, and they will do it to their own family member. Just ask Mike Cater. Look at what his own cousin did to him and his wife, disrespecting his wife. To neighbors, to people in Yonkers. Maybe I'm just a completely different person, but I could never deal with my cousin again after he did that to me. I wouldn't even want to be in the same room because I don't know what I would do. There's just certain lines you don't cross. It doesn't matter if you're family, you just don't cross them. And so if they're willing to do that to their own family members, imagine what they'll do to strangers. These people are sociopaths, narcissists. And I feel bad for those who have no other choice but to remain here in the city of Yonkers and try to figure out a way, because it's becoming more and more expensive, more and more difficult for people to stay here, but they don't know where they're going to go. They have to deal with driving on these horrible roads, and then the elected officials just tell you, well, it's a county road, it's a state road, and all the other sycophants or whatever you call it, a sheep that just believe everything that they say. Oh, it's a county road. What are they going to do? Well, they can put pressure on the county to get the roads fixed so that the people in Yonkers, who live in Yonkers, who drive on them, who they represent, don't have to have their cars damaged. That's what they can do. Rather than go to a grand opening ceremony, a ribbon cutting, they can go to the county and say, hey, we need you to fix this road. It's your responsibility. Hey, state, we need this road fixed. So we're going to do it, and we're going to bill you. But either way, get it done. That's the kind of elected officials we need. People who get it done, not people who talk a lot of shit. who do ice bucket challenges and promotions, ribbon cuttings, and think that they've done something for the people and they deserve your vote. It's time to wake up, Yonkers. It's time that we wake up and we call out the corruption because it's bad. I mean, we have an inspector general that doesn't do his job. The man makes $190,000 a year, I believe, and he doesn't do his job. Sam Dadal, a man that's been in business in the city of Yonkers for more than 30 years, who has done a lot of work for Yonkers itself, the city, cannot get the inspector general to investigate his complaints, well-documented complaints. He cannot get the city of Yonkers to pay him. This is their punishment. You complain, Sam? We're not going to pay you now, no matter how much money we owe you. Because they are bullies and they want to make an example out of people. This is Sam Dadal's attorney sending a letter to the city of Yonkers requesting payment for work and services rendered. For whatever reason, Sam Borelli was holding up his payments and is still holding up payments. I recline upon presenting these invoices to Deputy Commissioner Sam Borelli. This is when he was the Deputy Commissioner of the Yonkers DPW. Was told on numerous occasions that said invoices would be paid promptly and directly to our client as they had incurred significant costs with the aforementioned jobs. So basically, he is looking for payment. He had to get an attorney involved. Why was Sam Borelli holding up his payments while he was the Deputy Commissioner of DPW? Remember, Sam Borelli was suspended when he was the Deputy Commissioner for 2 weeks for giving his son contracts, no bid city contracts, bypassing the protocol so he can enrich himself and his son. And he's been doing this even while commissioner of the building department. Unbelievable that this is what is allowed to happen here. And we have an IG that just will not investigate. Why? Because according to Sam Dadal himself, the IG will do whatever it is the administration wants him to do. But that's a problem. He cannot be controlled by the mayor's office. The mayor and Liam McLaughlin, who are good friends, right? I should say the mayor, who is good friends with Liam McLaughlin, right, will not have Liam investigate anything that needs to be investigated that could potentially expose the corruption. Liam McLaughlin should not be the inspector general because he is good friends with the mayor and the Spanos. Imagine you appoint your best friend or a close friend of yours that you've known almost all your life as the inspector general. Do you think that he's going to investigate you if you're being corrupt? They told him here at the bottom, it says that they were not going to pay him for the work because it was done during the previous administration. So this needs to be investigated, but it will not, because he's right. Sam Dadal is right. Liam McLaughlin is only going to investigate whatever it is that Mayor Mike Spano tells him to investigate, like Mike Cater, and that is it. He hasn't done any investigations, anything. Has investigated Tasha Diaz in her attempt to award a no-bid contract to her campaign manager. Not once, but twice did she try to award a no-bid contract to campaign supporters, campaign managers, people she's friends with and related to. No investigation into that. No investigation being opened up into these Sam Dadal complaints. Sam Borelli, as the building department commissioner, which he was not qualified to hold a position, was holding up Sam Dadal's permits purposely while allowing for his son's company to get permits issued the same day. And he made sure that he allowed the mayor's brothers' companies to get their permits issued the same day as well. He was abusing his power. How many other individuals did Sam Borelli hurt while the commissioner of the building department? I know I was being hurt by him. Sam Dadal was, and many other businesses who have had their permits and CFOs held up. Yet no investigation. They allow Sam Borelli to quietly walk out the back door. Retire, I hear, not fired. I hear retired and allowed to collect on his paid sick leave or sick days and vacation days. So instead of investigating him, they allowed him to walk out. Now, a good point made by Sam Dadal is that if these allegations were about nothing, then the IG would have responded. Sam Borelli would still be the commissioner of the building department. But because there's so much evidence there that shows the corruption, they are being quiet about it, hoping that it blows over and allow Borelli to walk out the back door. Get him out of there before it really blows up. So where is the FBI? They should be investigating this. They should be investigating the fact that the Yonkers Inspector General is not doing any investigation when there is enough evidence to investigate. And why is that? Who is he protecting? That's a problem. Again, the Yonkers Inspector General is good friends with the Spano family. He's going to do exactly what it is they tell him to do. They put him there. Without the Spanos, he would not have that job. The same way the council would not be council members without the Spanos. You see what's going on here? Imagine you control the city council and the inspector general. What would you do? How would you run this city? If the council members would vote exactly how you tell them every time. That's the problem here in the city of Yonkers. It is corrupt to the core. Absolutely corrupt. And anyone that speaks on it is a target. This ain't the 90s. They can't just go killing people. And we know that that's been done. Can't forget the mayor who was going to expose them or expose the corruption at the time within the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency, which should be audited, along with the building department and the rest of the city of Yonkers. But will anyone actually do that? Moranti has called for audits, but is he going to follow through? Are those just a bunch of fluff words? Folks, you live in the most corrupt city in New York State. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. It's time that we speak up. The more that speak up, the easier it is for those who are exposing the information. They can't attack us all. It's also easier for it to spread, to share, and it also makes others more likely to believe it. When it's one or a few people, what they try to say is a bunch of people who are angry, who are just jealous that they can't be corrupt like us. They're just lying and making things up. He's crazy. He's unqualified. His wife is this, that, and a third. He's now being molested by Puff Daddy. It's nonsense. And the fact that we have to actually deal with that is truly actually a part of Yonkers politics, should just be more indicative of the sideshow that Yonkers politics is. And it's time for the serious, sophisticated, intelligent people to stand up and get the dummies up out of office. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Have a beautiful week.
Freddie wins.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
So I just wanted to show this real quick because this is crazy. Really quick, forgive me. Maddie Cheatham was in partnership. She's a founder of a nonprofit. She's a community activist. She was in partnership with this organization called the Loyalty Foundation, and they had given her laptops to hand out to people in the community. For whatever reason, Janai Wallace, who's always in the mix somewhere, trying to be down, Janai, you know why it ain't working for you? Because God don't like ugly, girl. Okay? God don't like ugly. And for you to utilize a situation like yours to try to benefit yourself and give yourself some kind of social status, it says a lot. And I only pray for you. That's it. Because you're struggling on the inside. And for you to go after other Black women for no reason, you're hurting on the inside, Janai. I'm sorry. My wife is a great therapist. Many of her clients will tell you she's open and available now if you need some therapy. But why would you go and lie and call up Loyalty Foundation and say that Maddie was not giving out the laptops, that she was stealing them, keeping them for herself? Well, see, you messed up there because you didn't know that the Loyalty Foundation was with Maddie Cheatham when she was handing out the laptops. So they knew that you were lying. That says a lot about who you are. People need to know you and who you are. And you're not supposed to be commingling political stuff with your nonprofit. Get the politicians' names and palm cards out of your nonprofit gift bags. Stop using it to promote elected officials. Supposed to be doing some kind of community service. You're not doing us a service. You're doing us a disservice. All right, Janai, because you're going after Black women. You went after Karen Best also. Judge Karen Best. Again, there's that jealousy thing because people do it on their own, and they hate that. They hate people of substance who got intelligence, who don't need the patronage, the nepotism, and the corruption to advance. So, Janai, you went after her too. A Black judge, a Black woman, a strong Black woman. And then at Riverfest, for whatever reason, when people were asking you to move and blowing their horns at you because you felt that it was okay for you to block traffic and just continue talking, you yelled out saying you didn't like me. Well, I don't like you either. You're a Black woman that attacks Black women because you want to fit in with individuals that look down on you at the end of the day and not just because you're short. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Have a beautiful and blessed day. I'm going to go on and live a beautiful life. Best believe that. I love you too. Take care.